Hi, this is Amrita Sukumar, and I'm bringing to you this podcast called Unsettling. Look around you. Everyone is trying to create their own story. Make a tiny change in someone's life by just following their passion and, in turn, inspiring the others to follow suit. This podcast brings to you stories of people who have defied the definition of settled set by the society and have created their own. They have found happiness in their version of settled. What is yours? Welcome to another episode of Unsettling. Today I have with me a guest who is an HR professional by day and a superhero at night. Well, superhero on the weekends actually. She's an art therapy facilitator who works with special children and senior citizens. Art therapy is a new concept, at least for me, and I was really intrigued about it. I'm sure you are piqued about knowing more about it too. So why don't we get to know her story? Please help me welcome Mayura Mulay. Hi Mayura.
Hey, hi Amrita.
How are you? How's the lockdown treating you?
Well, I think it's been coming in tides, and I think right now I'm sailing through them much better. Doing a lot of self work, and yeah, I think since I think it was a challenge, right, to come out better with the after the quarantine. So yeah, trying to stick to those norms.
I'm glad you are following the norms and you're staying safe. Mayura, can you tell the listeners a little about yourself? What do you do and how did you find art therapy?
Sure. So I think the best I would describe myself would be that I'm a learner and I'm learning to live and be more open to possibilities. With that, I am also an HR professional working in the field of rewards and employee wellness. And I started doing some volunteer work as art-based therapy practitioner just a couple of years back. And I would say that it has immensely changed how I experience life. So I was on the lookout for some opportunities to volunteer in mental health for a few years. And my thought of mental health was, of course, now once you start talking about mental health, it seems like, okay, some illness, some stigma. But the way I look at it is that just like physical health, right? We exercise regularly. We don't say that, okay, today I'm going to exercise and for the entire year now I'm not going to look at it. I think mental health is also something of that sort where we need to do some work on a daily basis. And I was looking for these opportunities. And of course, I did start looking, come across some volunteering work, but it was not really aligning with me on a personal front. That was not something what I could identify with myself. And also I thought that this was not probably accessible to everyone. I almost looked at it that it has to be like a first aid, which should be available to everyone, not like getting into always a therapy room or so to say always finding a counselor. Of course those we can't really do without them, but then it has to be more holistic and something you can do on a day-to-day basis is how I looked at mental health, and that's where I wanted to start off with.
So that is how you discovered art therapy and you started with the course.
So the discovery came a little later and very randomly. So I was having a bad day that day, and I had a terracotta clay sitting with me for some time because I wanted to make a masterpiece out of it. And then I decided that, okay, today let's just maybe with no planning, I just started doing something with it, playing around with it, breaking it down, building it up every time. And the end product was, in aesthetic terms, abstract, and in layman's term, disfigured sphere.
Okay.
And that day it didn't matter to me somehow. So I think we've just given art somehow a very like some stature, right? Where only it has to be sellable, it has to be understandable, and you have to be gifted to pursue it. But I think art is just primarily a form of expression, and that's where I started exploring more if I can do something in this field specifically.
Oh, wow. You put it actually very well. Art is like music or dance. And I think even kids do it because I remember my nephew, we used to just give him crayons and we used to give him paint, and then he used to create his own art, and he used to be really joyous when he was doing it. And I also understand when you say that it is somehow meditative when you're just creating these abstract arts, where you're creating and then you're breaking it down, and somewhere you're just focused on one thing, and that is meditative, is what I feel.
Exactly. So anything from maybe just a scribble. At times we've all done it, right? Maybe
Right.
at school, our last pages used to be always with those doodles or something done during a class. But we found expression in it, or it made us happy in a way. So
True.
that's all art is, just finding an expression, and that's where we, I think, need to start afresh from.
Yeah, right. So you have taken a course in art therapy, right? So what did they teach you there?
Yeah. So just for the benefit of the audience, what I, of course, when I thought that I'm going to work, art therapy is what I started looking at. But then art therapy is a very a comprehensive study, which almost entails like a MS in art therapy and also requires
Oh,
psychology.
okay.
So what I did was called as art-based therapy practitioner,
Okay.
which of course does use the same tools,
Mm-hmm.
but the approach is a little different. In art therapy, at times you also evaluate the artwork. Here, the focus is more on how that art made the person feel rather than
Right.
what did he draw. Like, not, the focus is not on what colors he used or what is the end product or what is the picture telling, but what was the after effect, or how has the person been progressing eventually,
Right.
is how art based therapy practitioner works, with some goals which you have and then how the person is working on. So yeah, I would like to kind of break it down
Clearly,
into
yes.
that
Yeah.
this
Okay.
is art based therapy, and we can
Okay.
nickname it as ABT.
Okay. Okay. Done. Done. Okay. So when you say psychology, so have you learned psychological aspects of art as well?
No, that's what I wanted to specify, that
Specify that
this
you have not.
does
It's.
not. Yeah. I have, my professional training is completely into commerce,
Mhm.
and if you go into a complete art therapy kind of one, it does also require certain psychology background. But this
Right.
one is where it's more about, you just have to have a liking for art, or be able to use those mediums, so to say.
Okay. Okay. Done. So how did you find working with children with special needs, and how did it change you?
I think more than what I gave them, I think they gave me a lot. I think it was very enriching as an experience, because the most important lesson which they taught me was that you can start from where you are and what you have.
Mm.
We are, or at least I was, with so much of preconceived notions of what I can do and I cannot do.
Mhm.
And somewhere that was completely broken down in a way, because I learned to take chances. I'm open now to try out things which are probably out of my comfort zone, or I'm not, uh, let's say, I don't excel at it as such. But that's what I think, to start with, they taught me to have an open mind, not be
Mhm.
really fixated on achieving a certain goal, being part of the, like, just enjoying that process, right? Not always wanting to have something at the end of the day, because working with special needs is quite organic, and it's not that what you've gone with planned for, it's going to turn out the same. They would be in a different mode. You can't
Right.
really, and even art-based therapy is not that you have to school them. It's not about that.
Mhm.
It's about just giving them space to really explore themselves and explore us in also in a way.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So that is how it changed. Um, but you, as you said, that it's one day is different from the other. Then what were the challenges that you had to face while working with them? How did you keep them engaged and engrossed?
Yeah, I think one thing which, since I had started with terracotta myself, I thought of using terracotta medium with them as well,
Mhm.
and it turned out quite well, because that's something which does not require structure, right? You
Right.
give them that, and they're completely engrossed. You don't have to give them this is what the end product is, or so many instructions per se. So
Mhm.
seeing them just immerse in that was beautiful. Then bringing them together. So we had something called as holding hands was one of the uh, experiment we tried just to bring them together, and how they
Okay.
brought each other together without really uh, by taking care that the other person is not hurt in any way, or we are bringing everyone together in a circle. That
Mhm.
was one of the highlights, and that's something which they figured out by themselves. It was not something somewhere where I had to instruct them. And somewhere I think that our constant perseverance of this is how it should be gets
Mhm.
completely challenged. And I think the challenge which I had was, I always want a structure. I am too much into telling guiding people.
Hmm.
So that is somewhere I had to hold back myself from that. This is to keep myself out of that line in, and not bring my put myself in their progress.
Right.
So yeah, I think that was the biggest challenge of not it was not to satisfy my ego or my needs, but more for them to come move from point A to point B.
Wow, that actually makes so much sense now, right? Because we have been living in a particular structure, and we know that if this is the knowledge that is imparted, this is the reaction that we are supposed to get, or this is our expectation from people. And then when you go out there and you realize that all your preconceived notions are failing, and then you learn to work around them, with them rather, that is one beautiful thing that you must have faced, which you have, I think, overcome. So when you mentioned terracotta, what are the other activities that you conducted to keep them engaged apart from that?
Yes. So drum circles is also a major part in art-based therapy. So the tools which are usually used in art-based therapy come from music, drama, movements, meditation practices as well.
Mhm.
Mind, which would be like mindful walking. So just to control the energy or just to calm them down a lot. Mindful walking is what one of the things which we started with. Then
Okay.
there was, of course, drum circles where they were exposed to different instruments, and and also not get them used to a specific instrument. They should be open to different instruments. So drum circles was one of them. Stories where they created their own stories, or they came up with characters of their own stories. That was
Okay.
one of the mediums which we worked with.
Okay. Okay. Oh, so art therapy is not literally art, but
Exactly.
oh, okay. So
Yeah.
s- this is now I'm really intrigued about this part of it. So what are the various mediums through which you communicate with them? Music, art, and what else?
There's music, drama, dance,
Drama. Okay.
visual art as well, which of course has painting, terracotta. These all are considered as visual art. Then there's
Okay.
storytelling.
Okay.
There's movement, so it
Uh-huh.
can be anything like just holding hands or walking are also extremely therapeutic.
Okay.
And then there's meditative practices as well.
Okay. And then you get responses from them about all these things, especially storytelling and drama.
Yes, we do. In fact, they are quite quick response. So I think the way we also perceive when we look at special needs, it's I think that's where we also need to start breaking our notions. It's
Mhm.
they are individuals at the end of the day. They do have a mind of their own,
Right.
and I think they definitely have a more mature mind
Okay.
than us. They are very forgiving for your mistakes. They are open to what you want to try out,
Uh-huh.
and they're definitely not judging, and they let go quite easily. So
Okay.
I think the shift happens when you start looking at them also as able individuals.
Right.
um,
Right.
I think that was also the belief I used to start my work with, that these are individuals I'm working with, and not working with any labels per se.
Right.
So
Right. No,
they of course, yes, they do respond, and at times they respond in such ways which you will not even expect. So even this whole theme which we used to have every day, that they have to bring everyone together in a circle
Mhm.
without leaving anyone behind. So the
Hmm.
solution which they came up with was how the cricket teams were just before the match begins, they hurdle, right? So they
Right.
came with that. They came up with that solution that we can hurdle. So we can bring everyone together, because holding hands and coming in was always a
Huh.
struggle. Someone was obviously left out, right? And you can't make a circle out of it. So
Right.
they came up with the solution that we can probably team hurdle.
Okay. Wow.
So
Uh,
yeah.
so honestly, even I have had this barrier in my head that I feel you might have had to put extra effort to get this out of them. But when you're saying that it's normal, then well, I'm also surprised. So are there any anecdotes from your interactions with them where you were really surprised by the outcome of your activities? Any
Yeah,
stories?
I think so I think one of the they are quite receptive and quite emotional when they do realize that somewhere maybe they are impacting others as well. So I think the biggest thing was the biggest in a way victory, or I would say learning for me, was that they really opened up about how they felt, and they looked forward to the sessions.
Mhm.
So if one of the days I would not come, they're like, oh, you didn't come the other day. They were used, it's not that they would forget about it, and they were always eager to learn, and they all, in fact, they themselves came up with ideas
Oh.
to suggest what they would want to do.
Uh-huh.
So I think that was a learning. And at as much as I think I started taking more of a backseat and letting them suggest things, that's where that shift happened, that I just have to facilitate. I don't have to control the session, or I'm not training anyone here. So I think that was one of the things that we don't I think magic happens when you just let go, or you start looking at an end goal in mind. Because a lot of
Wow.
sessions where I let go of, no, it's okay, let's just mold, let's just improvise. That's
Uh-huh.
where I think those were the best sessions where I could see the maximum impact, and where they started involving more. If you try to force things, probably it will not work. But if you try to blend things better, the way your group wants it, it
Yeah.
works out better.
Wow. So you're not a teacher, honestly, you're a facilitator, someone who is just giving them the push in the right direction as long as they're just doing what they love to do. Wow.
True.
So are you pursuing full time now, or is it still part time?
Yeah, so even when I began with this, it was very clear that I want to pursue this along with my full-time career, because really enjoy what I do, and this is something which I wanted to do as an extension of my uh, my as my focus, or my what I wanted to create as an awareness for mental health. And that's how it began. And I, of course, don't work only with special needs. Even during this course tenure, I have worked with different groups.
Right.
It's a drum circle, which I conducted for senior citizens, or maybe a storytelling session, which I did for kids. So it's art-based therapy. Of course, at times when you start talking about therapy, it always feels like, okay, something should be wrong when you go for therapy. But
Right.
I think that word at times is a hindrance. It's not. You can do it anytime. I think it's just like I said. It's just like you do physical exercise. This is something which you can do also.
Right.
So
So you,
now, of course, with the lockdown, I've not been. I'm not getting to do physical sessions, but I'm
right.
trying to explore as much I can do on social media. So I have just started a page called Story Minds, where I'm trying to at least build some content where people can go to every day. But then I'm planning to maybe try shifting and exploring the uh, online medium more now.
Oh, wonderful. Finally, we can see you online, because I think you were trying to run away from it as much as possible. Uh, so,
Yes.
would you suggest that art therapy is something that one should do every day, or practice it every day as much as possible?
Yes. So I think, as I said, so every time, at times, we don't always have to come with a therapeutic goal, but it's more about self-care. So anything which makes you feel happy, it doesn't make a difference whether you are great at it, or at the end of the day you can perform in a reality show. That should not be the end goal of it. It should be that you are enjoying it every day, because I think all art forms, I think that is the new normal, right? If you're good at
Yeah.
it, that means you should participate in a reality show.
Yeah, yeah, of course. It should either go all the way or don't do it at all.
Exactly. So that's where it starts from. So anything just like mindful walking, or let's say maybe scribbling, if that makes you happy, just
What do you
take
mean?
a
I'm sorry to cut you off. What do you mean by mindful walking? If, for example, I was supposed to do it.
So I think every day when we walk, if we can just take slow steps while monitoring how do we know when our foot rests. Have you ever noticed what part of your foot rests first? Is it the ball? Is it the heel of your foot? What rests first? Have you ever
Heel.
given it a thought? Yes,
I don't
exactly.
notice it on occasion. I have noticed it only because once my brother asked me to run, and he had specified that when you're running, first the ball of your feet should touch first, and then your heel. And that is when I noticed my pattern. How do I run, or how do I generally walk? So my heel touches first, which apparently is the wrong way to run.
Yes, so the ball is what is suggested that is should rest first, but that's what, how many of us really pay attention? At least I did not give any attention to how does your every limb move when you're
Right.
resting it. So just maybe taking slow walking just from the from one, even within a room, from until
Mhm.
the door to the door, if you're just walking and noticing that when is your ball touching, when is your how is your limb moving, how is
Yeah.
your hand moving, and just observing that. And how much do we know about our own bodies, right? So that's something. Also mindfully breathing, just sitting outside while beginning the day, just closing our eyes, just listening to the chirps of the birds. Right now, of course, it's the best time to listen to bird chirping. If
Yes, I
not
can
now, then
hear
when
birds
we
in the
feel you.
background in at your end, I feel.
Yes. So exactly that, just being mindful, being aware about those things, and doing what you want to do in terms of
Wow.
art. As I mentioned, there are possibilities. There's just movement also is art. So just being aware of yourself and starting every day with some self-care, and at least as much as you can, maybe involving then starting with your family. You can always do something related to art. I think just crayons, and now since things have opened up, just getting a doing like a group activity one day, sitting down, everyone draws what he wants to, can also
Hmm.
be a great exercise for uh, self-care. And I would consciously keep refraining from the word therapy, because I think therapy has also got
Therapy
a
is, yeah,
very
completely negative word right now. Uh, that's what people feel, that therapy is when something goes wrong, but self care, I think, is something that everyone should do on a daily basis. So yeah, I think therapy should get a positive review soon. Hopefully, it happens. But till then, yeah. So, what do you feel is the mental health scenario now in today's world? Because as much as I can see, anxiety has increased tenfold. Uh, we are totally in a scenario where we are continuously working without breaks, and that is somewhere taking a toll on everyone's health. So, what do you feel? What is your say on this?
yeah, I think this situation in a way has forced us to really look at ourselves more closely, because until now there was no such time where we really had to sit home for so long. And now it's not even about work life balance, it's just work life integration, right? You are on all the time. If it's family care, if it's everything is happening at the same time. So
Mhm.
somewhere realizing to switch off that button, or just take a step back and think about what is going on,
Mhm.
is important. And it's not that always everyone can take uh, take notice of it until it really reaches a stage where it goes out of hand. So that's
Right.
where I really feel that we need to start knowing ourselves better,
Mhm.
what we need, what we need to do for ourselves, just taking out time every day to
Mhm.
just reflect on how the day was. Maybe just count our blessings, if nothing else, just maintain a gratitude diary.
Okay.
of the simple things, because I think now everything seems like a blessing, right? The smallest things
Yes,
are a
I
blessing,
guess.
truly.
I know.
So I
So is
yeah,
that what you
starting
do?
from
Is that
there.
what you do daily? Do you have a gratitude journey? What are the things that you do for self-care?
Yes, so I think I'm on a 56-day streak. I use the Calm app. This is not an endorsement, but it's been really helpful for me.
Okay.
And they do have something called as uh, maintaining your gratitude check-in, or checking in how you're feeling that day. So
Mhm.
that really helps me to track track back of how I've been feeling, or how doing the meditation has really helped. And I think if I look, I was just the other day comparing how it's been in the earlier few days when I had just started the meditation practice until now. And I
Mhm.
think I feel from being anxious or stressed, now consistently it shows as relaxed more often for me when I look at the check-ins for
Wow.
myself.
Wonderful. I'm really glad that you're doing this for yourself. So I guess we have also learned a few things from therapy, not therapy, it's self-care. We have changed the term altogether. So, what message would you like to give someone who wants to pursue this art therapy?
Just go for it, I would say. There are a lot of avenues. Of course, some it might take some time till you can really get enrolled and start getting out, but I think the
Mhm.
smallest effort you can start making is with your near and dear ones. Of course, online meetings are still available, they are still accessible. So just plan something like a art activity, maybe just something like a beatboxing, or creating your own melody or something of that sort, or just creating a artwork, something of that sort. Just start small, but start is what I would say. And it I think art, as I mentioned, is not something which you really have to be good at. It's just that you need to be open for possibilities,
Mhm.
and there's no looking back.
Yes, so art is everywhere around you. You can do whatever you like. And the only thing is that you start and not worry about how good you are at it or worry about what kind of validation you will get. As long as you do it, it's wonderful. Do it for your own mental peace, is what uh, Mayura is telling us. So this is coming to the end of the question, and I'm asking you this final question: what is your definition of settled? Because everyone asks you to settle down and do things their way, but what do you feel is your definition of settled?
I think being able to be in your own skin, not trying to look for any validations, doing something because you want to do it, uh, would be settled for me. Is because I think we are at times we are constantly doing certain things really mindlessly. Just and if you look back and think about it, that why we are doing, probably we might not even have the answer of why we started all of it. So just
Mhm.
taking a step back, thinking what you really want to do, being comfortable with it, and yet it does not mean uh, stopping at one point. It means being okay with your current reality, but being still working towards a new reality is
Right.
how I would call it.
Wonderful. So thank you for this. And I think what we have learned from today is to self-evaluate, go inside, and even if you're doing anything, any small thing, you have to be mindful of what you. Even if you're reading something, you have to be mindful of what you're putting inside. And if you're doing some kind of artwork, it is important that you just do it for yourself. So thank you so much, Mayura, for having this discussion with us and telling us what all you do and what is art therapy. It was really insightful. I had a lot of fun talking to you.
Thank you, Amrita. Thank you for having me.
So, is there any, as you said, there was a page that people could follow and get in touch with you for your workshops. So, can you mention the name of the page again
It's storyminds underscore Mayura on Instagram.
on Instagram? Is there any other page affiliated links to which we can connect with you?
It's still work in progress, I would say.
Okay,
But
so
yes,
if
this is the only link right now. Yeah.
right now. Okay, so if anybody wants to get in touch with Mayura, learn more about art therapy, or just go and attend one of her workshops, you can do so on her page, and I will be adding all the links in the description. Thank you so much, Mayura.
Thank you.
Hello, people. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this episode and you like Unsettling, all you have to do is give me a feedback. And for that, please visit my Instagram page, that is Amrita Sukumar _unsettling. And well, you can send me a DM or you can send me a mail. All the details are there on that page. I would love for you to just tell me how you feel. Yeah. And I will get back to you. And if you have any people who would like to share their stories, you have to let me know because I would love to listen to them. Till then, stay tuned to Unsettling. Like, share, subscribe, follow, let your friends know, and stay safe. Yeah? Bye.